After 4 weeks of an aggressive calorie deficit, we have finally made it to the end of my mini cut. It started off really easy, it then got a little bit harder, it then got really damn hard, but that's what we signed up for. A mini cut is a brief period of time where you enter a very aggressive fat loss phase, a very aggressive deficit to lose as much fat as quickly as possible. You are taking advantage of the fact that in such a short amount of time, your body won't willingly tear down muscle in any long-term or meaningful way, so you can chop off a bunch of fat very quickly. But remember, this is not an alternative to a traditional diet. You don't do this instead of a traditional diet. You do it for a specific reason, a different reason. If you are overweight and you've got 30 pounds to lose, then a mini cut is not for you for so many reasons. But if you're a bodybuilder out of competition, and let's say you've bulked up to 15% and you want to quickly cut back down to 10 or 12% to then bulk back up to 15%, then a mini cut might just be for you, might. There are way more occasions where I think a mini cut is not the right thing to do than when I do think it's the right thing to do. But for me, in this period of time, it was the right thing to do, in my opinion. So you saw my 4-week process going through the mini cut. Now I'm going to break down the results in this video. So make sure to subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and hit the top link in my description for information about my online coaching with Progressive Physique Coaching. Okay, so the main thing to discuss here is how much weight I actually lost. I'm not going to bother giving you body fat estimations and stuff like that for a few reasons. One being that nobody actually knows what your body fat was or is now. And two, whatever I say it is, YouTube will just tell me I'm wrong. And three, it just doesn't really matter, does it? You'll see the pictures. Who cares what number I put to that picture? So over the duration of the mini cut, I lost 3.8 kilograms. That is 8.36 pounds, which averages out to 2.09 pounds per week, which is more than double the recommended rate of weight loss. That's what makes it a mini cut. And if this 8.36 pounds was entirely fat mass, then that would average out to a 1,045 calorie daily deficit. Obviously, that 8.36 pounds was not all fat mass. It would have been a lot of glycogen and water because I was super depleted and flat towards the end of the diet. But for all intents and purposes, that's how much I lost. I wouldn't actually say I'm happy about the amount of weight I lost. I'm not sad, I'm not surprised, because it's pretty much what I planned to lose, and I went into this knowing I was going to achieve it because I trusted my own knowledge. I'm more happy about how easily I achieved it. I knew I was going to achieve it, it was just how I would handle it. So before I get into the before and after, I'm going to let you know that soon I'm going to be doing a video going through reasons to mini cut, because so many people think that the only reason you'd mini cut is to visually look better. But when I post that video, you'll see that there are way more reasons to mini cut than visual. In fact, most of the reasons that I did a mini cut was not to look leaner. It is these other reasons, which you'll understand when that video comes out. It's beyond the scope of this video, but I know that you still care whether I look leaner or not, because that's why most people want a mini cut. And obviously it's nice to look leaner. I'm quite happy to look leaner. So luckily I do look leaner. So I'll put up on the screen pictures before and after. And yes, I know the angles and the lighting aren't perfectly the same. I apologize that I can't control the sun, but I think that they are close enough. So as you can see, I went from having blurry flexed abs to pretty visible flexed abs. And what I saw in person is that I went from having very minimal arm vascularity and stuff like that to having a fair amount of arm vascularity. And I know everyone says it, but in person, there was a lot more change visually in terms of leanness than what you can see in the pictures. Pictures never quite do it justice, which is really annoying when you're a content creator, because I feel like I looked worse in the before picture in real life, and I feel like I looked better in the after picture in real life. So the difference was actually more so, but whatever. I did take some more pictures doing poses like double biceps and stuff like that. I might put them on the screen, I might not. To be honest, I'm not too happy with them, and I think that's because the before pictures, even though I wasn't as lean, I was full. Like, I'd been eating 3,000 calories for months when I took those pictures, so my muscles were just bursting with glycogen. Whereas at the end, the after pictures, I was so flat and depleted. I'd been eating 1200 calories a day towards the end of the mini cut. So even though I was leaner, I didn't look more impressive because my muscles were just like shriveled up like a raisin. So if I redid those pictures in like a week after eating up a bit, I'd probably look a lot better, which I might do. I might do that. And the last thing to run over are the measurements. And these are always really, really interesting to look at because where you lose fat from in a mini cut really shows you where your body preferentially drops body fat from. And I see it change so much person to person from doing these with my clients, so I always find it really, really interesting. So I will put my measurements before and after up on the screen here, and as you'll see, my calves stayed exactly the same, 14 inches on the dot, like they have been for fucking ever since I started training them. But everything else changed. I dropped just over an inch on my chest, which makes sense because I store quite a lot of fat around my chest, and I dropped an inch around my hips. I dropped another inch off my waist, which makes sense because my abs became a lot more visually visible, and my quads I dropped half an inch, which again makes sense because they look leaner. I also lost half an inch off my arms, which is sad, but it is true, and they look better because they're leaner as well, so it's whatever. So yeah, it actually seems that my personal fat loss distribution and preferential loss areas is pretty even. It kind of comes off all over. There are a few areas that I notice hanging around, like the lower abdomen, but that is completely normal. And I definitely store a lot on my quads and my chest and my arms, but it also comes away from there first, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, everyone says it, but in person, difference, it's a bigger difference in person, I promise. So yeah, those are my crazy mini cut results. Man, fitness is weird. I basically ate like an 8-year-old girl for 4 weeks. I then showed you my abs, and then I tell you that I'm an online coach. It's weird. It's weird. It's what it is, until it isn't. But yeah, so I dropped 4 kilograms. I look a lot better. I feel a lot better, and I'm now refreshed for another big stint of mass gaining. And what is next within that mass? Well, I'm going to be focused on building up my back width, my delts and my quads, because I really want to get a better X frame on my body because I'm quite a narrow person. And I also want to work on my forearms because I feel like they are a bit of a lagging body part. So we're going to do some forearm work. If you want to know more about my plans going into this mass, if you've got any questions about that or any more questions about my mini cut, drop in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them either down there or in a future video if it's a really good question. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you want more information about Progressive Physique Coaching, my online coaching company, you can hit the top link in my description or you can email me personally on ashmaypt@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. As always, until the next one, see you later guys.